Good evening and welcome back to another Coastal Football live stream. And it's a very bizarre one. It's a Melbourne derby. It's not just any Melbourne derby. It's a Melbourne derby that's kicking off in the 21st minute, 22nd minute. This is going to be a very bizarre night of football that we're going to watch, I'm sure. And besides all the commotion around the situation regarding the game and replaying the game, or resuming the game, if you like, I should say. This is actually shaping up to be a really intriguing clash. So if you jump into the chat, say hi, say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from, and we're gonna put hopefully we get a show, man. Hopefully this game, despite all the drama around it, hopefully we get a good game. All right. Football. Oh. We love football. We love a bit of midweek football, and it reminds me of I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like a couple of years it wasn't even a couple of years ago. It was this time last year, where we had all of those midweek games due to COVID, right? That was a crazy time, wasn't it? Hey, Axel's in here. Axel, how's it going? How are you, mate? Mate, I am well. I'm actually doing really well. I'm feeling good. I'm keen for this game. I hope you guys are doing well as well. Luke is in here. How's it going? Luke says, is this the first ever game to restart? To my knowledge, yes. To my knowledge, yes. And if I'm wrong, then let me know. If someone knows in the A-League era, at least, I can't. For me, my knowledge, and I'm sure many of you. I mean, I know I've got a younger audience. But as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been in A-League history. There isn't one that, that hasn't been restart or resumed. I mean, restart, I guess, isn't the right term, because it's a resumption. 20th minute. Okay, I could be wrong. I thought I read somewhere it said 21 minutes past. I could be wrong. Spencer's in here. How's it going, Spencer? Says last time I said City would beat Newey 6-0. Didn't work out last time. Victory by 10. Well, look, victory won the last derby. That's what we should remember heading into tonight's game. Victory won the last derby. And yes, as Axel says here, City are indeed up 1-0, which is worth making a point. So City are going to this game with an advantage, which is really bizarre. You know, both teams heading into this game knowing that one team already has an advantage. It's quite bizarre. But it's going to be intriguing to see how it pans out, man, whether Victory just go for it from the off. Does City sit back a little bit? I doubt it. That's not City's way, but look, this is an intriguing game for the where the table's shaping up, and let's have a gaze at it now. This is where the table's looking. Melbourne City, after their draw to Newcastle Jets, which was a bit of a surprise. After their draw to Newcastle Jets on the weekend, they almost lost that game. They're just sitting 2 points ahead of Adelaide. If City were to lose this game, which isn't out of the realm of possibility, if City were to lose this game, then Adelaide could be top of the ladder come the weekend. Of course, Adelaide taking on Sydney FC at home this weekend. Melbourne City taking on Wellington Phoenix, which isn't an easy opponent as well. But yeah, man, it's really intriguing with the ladder. And of course, a Melbourne Victory win, 3 points for them, lifts them up to what? 7th place on the ladder, knocking on the door of finals. Who'd have thought? Crazy. What are we got going in here? Sydney Football in the chat says, hi, from the UK. I'm on holiday. Hope you're enjoying your time in the UK. CCM Season says, just played for the Mariners Academy and won 7-3. I scored 3. That sounds like a great outing of football. Congratulations on the hat-trick. Iggy says, hey, Lucky, do you remember a Mariners player named Austin? Yeah, Mitch Austin. Played back in the old palm tree jersey days. 16, if I remember correctly. He uploaded a lot of TikTok about old FIFA ratings. I have seen that Mitch Austin has been doing some like gaming content and stuff. I don't really follow too much of it, but I have heard that. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Hope he's doing well, Mitch Austin. He was a decent player. Having a look at the broadcast, he doesn't look like there's a massive turnout for this game, which, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this one. This is a weird one, man. We're usually used to the Melbourne Derby being such like a massive fixture, but it's just got this weird feeling about it. Cody's in the chat. How's it going? Cody says MacArthur losing to Perth was frustrating. It was frustrating considering MacArthur did well to like get themselves in front. And I was watching that game and I thought, oh, they could hold on here for a big away win. Crucial 3 points for MacArthur. Perth came back late and stole it. I shouldn't say stole it. They didn't really steal it. Perth were good in that game. Spencer says, I'm not happy looking at my team with one hand on the wooden spoon. Hopefully, victory lose tonight, we can turn it around. Spencer, of course, a Brisbane Roar fan. Brisbane Roar currently sitting bottom of the ladder, 23 points. Big game for Brisbane up against Newcastle this weekend. Big game for Newcastle and Brisbane. But plenty of intrigue around the A-League ladder heading into the final, 4 weeks of the regular season. What do we got else in here? Cody asks, thoughts on the Matildas jerseys? Love them. I'll be honest, I saw them and it took me like a solid minute to really wrap my head around it. I was looking at that pattern. I was like, is that cool? And I was like, yeah, it's cool. But I'll tell you which one is my favorite by far, the away kit. The away kit, like I don't know if you call that like a fluoro blue. They had some like funky name for it on the Nike website, that like bright blue. It's really cool. Really, really cool. I dig it, considering getting one. Lucas in here, how's this? It's just better win. For Perth's sake, City, better win. That's the interesting thing too. It's like, this isn't just a, we'll pull up the ladder again. It isn't just a matter of like these two teams and where they sit. Other teams around them want certain results to go their way. You know, Adelaide would love to see their rival Melbourne Victory defeat Melbourne City so that they have a chance to finish to go on top on the weekend. Whereas if Victory get the win, it's going to cause some frustration for the likes of Glory, Jets, Western, MacArthur. It's interesting. Hurricanes in the chat. How have you been, man? How you been? I've been well, man. Thanks for asking. Good to see you in it. Cody says, I'm going for City for MacArthur sides. Yeah, MacArthur fan. Luke ZB in the chat says, do you think the current top 5 will probably finish as top 5? Yes. If so, who do you think will get 6th spot? It's a great question because it's not an easy question to answer. It's a fantastic question. Who do I think will get 6th? Look, there's some teams that I'd love to see in there. I'd love to see Perth Glory in there. It'd just be a great story. I think it's going to be Sydney. I think Sydney hold on. They've just been like, yes, they've been like really poor in some games. Obviously, like the Sydney Derby being one of them, the recent Sydney Derby. Who finishes 6th? 6th? Sydney. I reckon it's going to be Sydney. I think they'll just hold on in the end. The reason why I say that as well is because so many of those teams, Glory, Jets, Western, yes, they've been winning games here and there, but they keep bottling it. They keep slipping when they have the opportunity. And that's the frustrating thing about that chase for 6th spot. None of those teams really want it. You know what I mean? So, look, it's an intriguing battle. All right. Lucas in the chat says the Newcastle game was great for Perth. Yeah, Newcastle. The 3 points for Newcastle against City would have been huge, wouldn't it? Lead Falcon. Hey, Lockie, you going to the Mariners away game at Newcastle? Planning on it. Planning to go, yeah. Should be good fun. Favorite good question. Favorite All Access episode? Probably the Garang one. I know it was ages ago now, but the Garang one. Yeah. The Garang Koal one. It just showed, and it showed like, I think they were like Wombrel Beach for one of them, and that's like we love Wombrel Beach. Hurricane says again, going back to the ladder, great relegation battle if that was a thing. It would be, wouldn't it? It would make for a very exciting relegation battle. When you look at how tight it is at the bottom there. I mean, and of course, I mean, I know it's not the same thing as relegation, but you do have to think about the Australian Cup playoff spots. And, you know, if you can finish, ahead of that bottom 4, it secures your place in the Australia Cup. So there is a little bit to play for there, you know. There is something to play for. So yeah. And Cody's exactly right here when he says a lot of fans feel their chances are over, but anything can still happen, which is absolutely true. When you look at dude, I mean, like I'm writing off Brisbane personally, and I think a lot of people are, but Brisbane have won both of their home games under Nick Green. They still have one of the best midfields in JSA. Aside from that, there's not too much going for them. But yeah, man, I'm like anything can happen. Anything can happen the way it stands now. So yeah. Not too far now. Not too far until kickoff. 5 minutes or so. I shouldn't say kickoff, because this game's not resuming with the kickoff, is it? They explained there was some on the socials. They explained some things about how this game is going to work, and I think they said it's going to be a drop ball. A drop ball from when the game halted last time around. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, only a few minutes away. We've got some more talk in the chat regarding the ladder. Axel says, I really hope we clinch sixth spot right on the last game at home versus Brisbane, mainly because I got tickets. But the atmosphere on the last whistle will be incredible at Amy Park. Yeah, man. I mean, there's some, and that's the thing too. There's some really great matchups when you look at the last couple of rounds. Like the last round, I think on Friday, there's a simultaneous kickoff, all involving the top four. Like if I can find that now, as we're just a few moments away from kickoff. Let me pull that up now. Check it out on your screens now. Check this out. This is Friday. These two games. Crazy. Adelaide Mariners, City Wanderers. Are you kidding? That's like the perfect simultaneous kickoff. In the final round of the season. That could like make or break the Premier's plate. That could make or break who finishes in the top two, because obviously you want to finish top two to avoid the elimination finals. Really interesting. Really interesting, man. Drop ball off. That's right. That's right, says Cody. That's right. As the teams come out onto Amy Park's surface. Oh, so bizarre. I'm glad we're all here to experience this together. If you're enjoying the stream so far, make sure you hit the like button. It's the best way to show your support. We're going to get the drop ball off. We're going to get the drop ball off very shortly. And Lucas is right. Just talking about the ladder once more. If victory win, then they will be 7th, which is crazy, right? Like a jump from 11th to 7th. I'm also keen for this game to get out of the way too, just so there doesn't have to be the whole. I hate the whole game in hand thing. I love it when like all teams are on a level, because then you can look at the ladder and be like, yeah, this is like, you know what I mean? Like this is the true ladder. This is as it is, how it should be. You know what I mean? So we're going to get that after tonight, which is good. Cody asked a good question regarding expansion, and I'd love to talk about this more during the halftime break, which is going to be interesting. Actually, when are they doing halftime? When are they doing halftime? Does anyone know? Like, how's that going to work? Are they going to do halftime at 45 minutes? Because that won't be halfway through the game tonight. Anyway, we'll see. We're going to find out. That's what I love about this. We're going to experience it all together. Anyway, Cody quickly asks if there was another expansion round after Canberra, Auckland, who would a two picks be? They have said that there will be one. They have said that the next season there's going to be another two teams. They've said that now. Again, it might not actually happen, but they have said that. My picks have two easy ones for me: Gold Coast and Tassie. Gold Coast and Tassie. Yeah. Okay. Why is it a drop ball? Ask Hurricane. Because I believe they're going from where the last match ended. And when the pitch invasion happened, I believe the ball was in play somewhere out near the wing. So, yeah. Robbie's in here. Back indeed. Hope you're doing well, Robbie. Shadow for expansion says Hobart and Ipswich, West Brisbane. Yeah, I mean, like I said Gold Coast, but like I think a second Queensland team makes sense, you know. And Tassie would just be cool, right? Here we go. Spencer agrees as well. Says Gold Coast and Tassie. Cody in as well. Says I agree. Gold Coast 100%. I think it just makes sense. You know, it's they've got a decent little population up there. I've got an AFL side, an NRL side there. I know it didn't work last time around, but if they can do it properly this time, hopefully it should all work out. All right, we are about to do the drop ball. Looks like it's it's Alex King refereeing this game, about to drop the ball for Tom Glover, who almost 4 months ago was hit in the head by a bucket, which obviously very shameful scenes back in December, scenes that no fan wants to see in any sport. And hopefully tonight we can just focus on football. Back in expansion, Spencer says I'd be happy to see Darwin as well. Shadow says even talks about Gold Coast getting a boutique stadium. Hurricane, interesting ones. Hurricane says another WA team, but maybe Tassie for sure. I think WA team could potentially happen as well. It'd be interesting. And here we go. We are underway. First half, resuming in what I believe is the 22nd minute. We're going to get confirmation about that in a second when they get the scoreboard up. This is going to be very bizarre. And we're back. It's the 22nd minute. 21 minutes and 15 seconds have expired. And we are underway. City lead victory 1-0. This is very bizarre, but we are underway. City have the lead. Oh, this feels weird. This feels so weird. Oh, this is so bizarre. It's hilarious. It's so A-League though, you know what I mean? Like this is such an A-League problem. Not problem. This is such an A-League situation to have like a game that resumes and what do you guys think should have happened? Genuine question for you guys right now. What do you think they should have done with this game? Should they have just like canned it and given City the 3 points, which I think they should have done? Should they have like completely restarted the game? I don't know. There's options. Like, what do you think should have happened? What do you think? Axel, I totally agree with his sentiment. Says this game is so random already. What I'm curious to know, and I don't know, and someone let me know if they know, like, what are they going to do with halftime? Like at 45 minutes, is it halftime? Or is it going to be like, what's halfway? I haven't even done the math. Can someone figure out what halftime would be between 21 minutes and 90? I can't be bothered to do the math in my head right now. We're focusing on football. This is A-League, not math class. TJPEG says, as a Victory fan, we should have forfeited, to be honest. I've seen a few Victory fans actually say that as well. That like Victory reckon they should have forfeited, yeah. Lee Falcon, so excited for another Newcastle away. Are you attending? Yeah, I'm planning on it. Would love to get up there to Newcastle again. Always a fun away day with the Mariners fans. Okay, thanks for that, Cody, who says in the chat 45 minutes will be halftime, but any stoppage time accrues from the 21st minute onwards, so none from the previous game. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Because I mean, how would they figure that out? I'm sure they don't keep collection of how much injury time they collected at a certain game at a certain point. It'd just be too difficult, wouldn't it? Falcons on the party bus to Newcastle. Mariners party bus. Shout out to the Mariners and the buses to all the interstate games. The games within the state, I should say. Fortnite's in here. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday so far. I know I am. We've got some A-League football. Crowd looks look, it's not massive. Crowd looks massive. We need to get some better looks at some of the stadiums behind. Some of the stands behind the goals. And there's already a foul in the middle of the park. Aiden O'Neill on Fornaroli, who's clutching his ankle in pain, and that's a yellow card for the goal scorer who scored The first, when we started this game 4 months ago, Aidan O'Neill, his goal stands, and he's just gone a little bit too forcefully there for Bruno Fornaroli. Axel, I'm just reading a comment from a moment ago here. Personally, I feel if they wanted to continue, this will sound weird, but bear with me. They should restart the match at the start of the game, 0 minutes, 0-0. But City should be up 1-0 on aggregate, as if it's a second leg fixture. That's an interesting idea. I never thought of that. Could have been interesting. Hurricane says, rumor has it all the buckets were taken out of the ground prior to the fixture, which would be totally understandable. Nobody wants any buckets thrown at anyone for any reason ever. All right. Stefan Negro playing at right back tonight for Melbourne Victory, which means Connor Chapman moves to midfield. Still no Jason Garrier for Victory. Melbourne City, Florin Berenguer is into the starting lineup. No Scott Jamieson in the starting lineup tonight. So it's a City midfield three, Berenguer, Barisha, O'Neill, which I like. Of course, they're still missing Van der Ven through injury. No Matthew Leckie as well. But aside from that, it's a strong lineup for City. Interesting as well that Victory have Tony Popovich has been opting for Connor Chapman in midfield over the likes of Ryan Marchand, who's been back from injury the last few weeks, and Lee Broxham. But Chapman, I think Chapman started every game since he's arrived at Victory a couple months ago. Cody, interesting way to do it. I've turned down the volume on the game all the way down just to listen to you instead. There you go. I mean, to be fair, I sometimes do the same thing when I'm watching games, by myself. Just because I like the piece, and sometimes I'll put music on. Try that. I want you to try it now. If you haven't tried it, if you're watching football, it sounds crazy, but turn down the sound and put some music on. It'll change your life. Come back in the next live stream. Let me know how it went. It might not be for you, but give it a shot. Callum Talbot with a long ball down the right-hand side. Decent for Naboot. Cross was not ideal. Oh, boy. Will you do Adelaide, Sydney watch-along on Friday? No watch-along for Adelaide, Sydney, but doing a watch-along for Saturday night's game. Macarthur Wanderers, Battle of Western Sydney. Is it a derby? Yes, it is. It is a derby. We have to hype up our league, and derbies are the way to do that, man. Victory on the attack. Chris Economides left wing, cutting in. Chance here. Strike is a good one. Glover saves to his right. First real shot on goal, and I think that was a Bruno Fornaroli strike. It looks like it was indeed Bruno Fornaroli, almost equalising. But yeah, I'll see you guys Saturday night for the Macarthur Wanderers live stream. Shadow says it's going to be a Western City home game pretty much. Funnily enough, I was there last season. I did a match day vlog. Some of you would have seen it. You can check the channel from about a year ago, just over a year ago. I did a match day vlog at the Western Sydney derby. Macarthur at home to Wanderers. Really interesting game. There were plenty of Wanderers fans there, but the Bulls fans turned out as well. There were plenty of Bulls fans there, of course. Check it out if you haven't seen it, the match day vlog. No watch along for Mariners Western, but yeah, definitely doing the Saturday night game watch along. Spencer says I'll only turn it down if Simon Hill's not commentating. We love Simon Hill, don't we? We love Simon Hill. City attacking down the left. Tilios, cross goes to no one. Couple early crosses here for City. None of them really working out so far. In fact, it might have been Berenguer with a cross. Stay hydrated. Troy's in the chat. How's it going? Troy says, hi, Lucky. Great to see you. Great to see you, man. I went with my family to the Mariners game last weekend. What a win. Great win for the Mariners. 4-1 over Brisbane Roar. Good to hear you had a good game, good time with the family, Troy. Good to see you here. Big win for the Mariners last weekend. 4-1. Joshy, how good was it? How good was it to see Josh Nisbet on the scoreboard for just the second time? Legend. City have the ball inside the box, and it's going to be a corner. Just past the half an hour mark in the game, even though the game tonight has only been going for 9 minutes. Pretty even stuff so far, but teams starting to warm up into it. Melbourne City, of course, leading 1-0, courtesy of Aidan O'Neill's goal, which was scored 4 months ago. Corner. So it looks like the corner stats still stand because City have 2 and Victory have 1. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the first corner of the game. Berisha to deliver. Decent ball. Victory to deal with it. That was a good delivery from Berisha. Shame no one could get on the end of it. We saw City equalise late against Newcastle on the weekend. Max Caputo, 17-year-old, scoring his first goal in the A-League. Troy says, was fantastic. Well deserved, indeed. Well deserved for Nisbet. He's been playing well. Puts in so much effort every game. He does indeed. He deserved the goal. Shadow says, you see Brisbane Roar going to be playing at Suncorp and Sun Games at Ballymore next year? I did see that, man. It seems to be the worst kept secret at the moment, hey. And look, it's great news. It really is good news. I keep just seeing Brisbane fans complaining about, having to drive out to Redcliffe and all that. So hopefully this sees a bit of a boost in attendance numbers for Brisbane. So it's good news. It's good news. 32 minutes played. It's up to Victory to get themselves back into this game. They know that they are down by a goal. And I was going to say that Tony Popovich, it would have been weird for them preparing for this game, but I guess it's that you'd prepare for it the same way you'd prepare for a second leg semi if you were down in the first game, which Victory weren't. I was trying to remember last year's semis. I think were Victory up in that semi against Western? I think they were. I think they were up 1 or 2-0. 1-0 maybe in the first leg against Western. And then the second leg, you remember Western came back and smashed them 4-1 or something. But it's that sort of situation, I guess, where it feels like a second leg where, they lost the first one 1-0. So I guess the idea isn't too foreign. City looking to penetrate down the left. Victory's just defense. Trying not to allow them any space here, Victory, on that wing. Don't want to give their creative players much room. Here comes City. It's Berisha, edge of the box strike. Good save, Izzo. Looked like it might have been going wide, but Paul Izzo, who had a fantastic game away to Wellington on the weekend, made some great saves. Made some fantastic saves. It did look like it was just gone wide, but Paul Izzo wasn't to know. Cody in the chat says, the league needs better/more boutique stadiums. Hopefully Western United getting one real soon. Would love to see some more come in. Berisha's corner. Oh, Izzo with the reflexes. That was almost an own goal. Was that almost an own goal? These corners proving to be a little bit of a hazard for Victory. Oh, man, almost sailed into his goal. Paul Izzo just tapping that one over. That's right, Brock. It's a weird one, isn't it? So it's already 30 minutes in. Feels like the game's only got for 30 minutes. Oh, mate. Ball comes in, punched away by Izzo. Person 1201 is in here, says, what time is the game for you, Coast Watch? Right now, we are at... I'll tell you in a second because I'm about to tick past a minute. Of course, on YouTube, there is a little bit of delay on the stream, but I'm now exactly 35 minutes. 35 minutes right now. 35 minutes. So, of course, on YouTube, you do get that little bit of delay, but not much we can do about that. I am watching on Paramount Plus, as I assume we all are. So, City looking hungry for a second goal early on here. It's funny saying early on and seeing the clock at 35 minutes. Oh, mate. Hey, Cody with an interesting point here. I just mentioned how Western United are building their own stadium, which we hope can actually happen. It is. It looks like they are building it. We're going to come back to that because Victory are attacking down the left here via Chris Economides, who has some space. Chris Economides, relatively quiet season for Victory this time around. Cutting inside. Chipping back post. Good work, Geordie Boss. Falami regathers. Well done. Pass inside to Romero. Victory on the front foot here. And if Victory score an equaliser, then it should make for a really intriguing second half. Down the left again, Economides, Victory, probing, looking for the chance. Chipping it over. Brillante. Strike was not the correct option for Roderick Miranda, who found himself at the other end of the pitch. Would love to see more boutique stadiums. And Cody says here, for Western, get their stadium built. That'd give me incentive to go for an away day rather than seeing Amy Park all the time. Exactly. Wouldn't that be awesome? You know? Like, I genuinely believe that we'll see Western United's attendances will boost. Their memberships will boost if they have their own dedicated stadium, their own hub, their own, it will give them more identity. So it's going to be a great thing for Western. And Shadow says Western United are apparently playing in their training stadium next year. Then their actual stadium is set to be built, which I think is great, and should work because what that training ground I think is going to have like a capacity of like a couple thousand, few thousand, which is what they get anyway, But might as well get people used to traveling out there, and then they get their actual stadium up and running. So I think that's, I'd rather see them playing at their own training ground than out in Tassie, Like play in Tassie, once a season or something. But they really need to get that identity. They need that home base. Do you think Melbourne Victory's active support will be good again? Yes. They have the biggest membership numbers in the league. They have the biggest fan base in the league. Yes, it is inevitable. Alex is in Adelaide right now. Alex in Adelaide, how's it going? Says, I just got here. What did I miss? Not too much. No goals tonight yet. But of course, City are already leading this game and breaking down the right-hand side. That's a great challenge. Risky challenge from O'Neill. He's already on a yellow. That was very risky from Aidan O'Neill, the soccer. Wow. Shadow on Western United's training ground says 5,000 grandstand. Apparently, then probably room to stand all around the ground. So, yeah, you're looking at potentially 6,000, 7,000 there, which is all right. That's fine. It's great. I'm looking forward to seeing that Western United Stadium come to fruition. That's right, Alex Shaw. It's almost half time. Feels weird, but it's true. And make sure you stick around for halftime. I'm keen to, we're going to do a bit of like a Q&A discussion here. If you guys got any questions regarding anything A-League or Australian football related, got some Matildas friendlies coming off on the weekend. Jump in the chat. Let's talk. Halftime in about 6 or 7 minutes. So as my clock here is at 39 minutes and 20 seconds. Thomas Lamb with a foul on Fornaroli. Fortnite says, man, I really hope Victory can pull through and win this. As an Adelaide fan, we really need City to lose. It's a big one. It's a big one, not just for these teams, man, but for teams around these teams. Teams around these teams. Sporty O'Brien, how's it going? Says, hello, Coast Watch. Hello, Sporty O'Brien. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat. Good to see so many people tuning in on a midweek stream. If you're enjoying the stream so far, make sure you hit the like button. Thanks for sticking around and showing your support. First 12 says, why do you think Wanderers haven't increased their attendance, even though they're doing really well? I like to think that if Wanderers have a really successful season and see it through to the end, which I think they will, they should go deep into finals. Wanderers. I think we'll see attendances boost next season. I think they'll just slowly, and they are steadily increasing. They are. I think next season they'll just continue to grow. So that's my thought. Go Mariners, indeed. Troy, the ladder is so close this season. Even the bottom six is close. Yeah, we're talking about it just before kickoff. And we'll have a look at the table once again at halftime. John P7, how's it going? John says, Victory in City sharing Abbey Park is fine. No different to AC Milan and Inter Milan sharing San Siro. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Really nice little stadium. Oh, Tom Glover has almost taken that ball out of the goal box. He managed to keep it in just. My game clock here currently at 41 minutes and 20 seconds. I agree with this. Brandon Brolly is good. Brandon Brolly is having a fantastic season. City taking down the right, Andrew Naboot. Corner. Another City corner. Another City corner as we have a shot of Rado Vidicic with his spectacles on and his notebook out, writing down some notes. Look at him. Look at Rado writing down his notes. 42 minutes ticked by on my stream. Edging close to halftime. Not long to go. City leading 1-0. Victory would love a sneaky equaliser before halftime. That would make the second half real interesting. They've really only managed one shot. That was through Bruno Fornaroli about 10 minutes ago. And that's going to be a foul. Jamie McLaren bringing down Miranda, and that's a yellow card for McLaren. And Roderick Miranda isn't happy. And I'm not sure Alex King is having a word to him. I'm not sure much. I mean, yellow. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, it's definitely a yellow card. McLaren's. McLaren had no intention of going for the ball there. He's gone straight for the legs of the Portuguese, and it's a yellow card. So I don't know what Miranda's complaining about there. Chance for City to break down here. They got players streaming down the left and right wings. Opportunity. Berisha. Players gone down out of the box for City. In fact, it was Berisha who went down in the foul. And referee not interested. Alex King, a busy man at the moment, the referee. Alex in the chat says, how's the Central Coast gig going on? Actually stepped down from the Mariners last year, but had a great experience working for the club. My stream exactly at 44 minutes now as City shift the ball forward. Looks like both teams just content just to play this first period out, this first half an hour or so. Sorry, not half an hour, 25 minutes or so. Happy to play it out, and I'd imagine we'd get only 1 minute of injury time here. There really hasn't been too much of a stoppage. No goals, no subs. And then jump in the chat in about a couple of minutes. We're going to talk a bit of a Q&A discussion. So jump in the chat. We'll have a look at the ladder. Have a look at how things stand if this result goes as it is. So I'll start jumping your questions now in the chat because just over a minute, we're going to be diving in. As the clock on my stream just ticks past 45 minutes. 1 minute of injury time. Quickest first half ever indeed, Troy. Feels weird. Imagine if football games were this long. Imagine if the halves were like 25 minutes. How weird would that be? Where is Nanny? It's a great question. Where is Nanny? He could be anywhere. He could be in the UK. He could be in Portugal. He could be in Brazil. We hope he's doing all right, Nanny, and we hope to see him on an A-League pitch again in the future. Of course, no Nanny due to injury for the rest of the season. ACL, right? Nanny did his ACL, right? I think so. Here's a chance for City later on this half. Edge of the box. Still there. Tilio, boss. And 46 minutes has passed. We're probably going to get the whistle. And that might be it. It will. Half time between Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory, the Melbourne Derby that has been resumed months after it had started. Aidan O'Neill's goal, which was scored in that first encounter, stands at the moment as the only goal scored in this game. Let's have a look at how the ladder stands. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to chat about, feel free to whack it in the chat right now. Let's have a little look at the ladder. And if this result stays, let's do a little refresh here. With this score involved, let's pull it up. There we go. So as it stands, a win here for City will take them 5 points clear of Adelaide United. Melbourne Victory still sitting in 11th place. But anything can happen from here. Plenty of time to go. We're going to get a proper half of football very shortly. Troy, thanks for confirming there. Yeah, Nanny's done his ACL. Thoughts on Schneiderlin playing for Wanderers? He's done okay, but it's an interesting one with Schneiderlin because they didn't really need to sign him. They didn't really need to sign him because of the midfield players they got. Just give me a second, guys, here as I just do a little restart of the camera, but you should still be able to hear me. Interesting signing, I thought, to sign Morgan Schneiderlin, considering how well Callum Neuenhoff has been playing. Amal Fatana's had a great season. Oli Bozanic isn't getting a run at the moment because there's too many midfielders that side. So, it's a bizarre one, I thought, when they signed him, but still a decent pickup. Don't get me wrong. And look, a great addition to the A-League. Morgan Schneiderlin, obviously a former Premier League player. So, look, it's a great pickup for the A-League. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting signing. Thoughts on the Marcelo ban? I was okay with the Marcelo ban. I think it makes... sorry, it hasn't even been announced yet. So it looks like it's going to be quite a few games, potentially 4, 5, 6 games. I'm all right with it. I think it makes sense when you consider his actions in the game, which were completely unacceptable. So yeah, it looks like he's going to receive more than 4 games, and it's a blow for Wanderers. That's the big thing. It's a blow for Wanderers. They could potentially be without him until finals, which is a massive loss because he's been one of their top players. But I think it makes sense. The ban, I don't have a problem with it. Okay. What else is going on here? Oh, interesting question from Cody. Asks, what club do you think has the worst stadium and why? Well, I will preface this by saying I haven't been to every A-League stadium. So I always feel like when people ask me like rate stadiums and stuff, I always feel bad because like I haven't been to every. So I feel like it's not fair. What stadium is the worst stadium? They're all decent. Like I've even been to Campbelltown, some like Arthur's home ground, and I don't think it's that bad. Like it's a decent little sort of it's got a regional feel to it, but it's like not like a terrible stadium. I don't know who's got the worst stadium, man. What do you guys think? True. Just seeing this comment from Shadow before. Quickest or longest first half ever. That's true. It was a half that took 25 minutes, but it did kick off 4 months ago. So, yeah. Going back to the Marcelo topic, Fortnite says Ruden should be banned for his crazy talk in his post-match interview. I understand where Ruden's coming from, and it's not surprising because Ruden's been doing it all season, where he's very defensive and very passionate and proud of his team and his players, and rightly so. They've had a great season. But yeah, it was interesting. It was almost like he was defending his actions. So yeah. I wonder if Ruden wouldn't be happy with a 4-game suspension if that's what it is for Marcelo. For the worst stadium, Cody says as a MacArthur fan, I'd say Campbelltown. As a MacArthur fan, wow. I'm not even a MacArthur fan, and I think Campbelltown's all right. I mean, comparatively to the other stadiums, I guess it probably wouldn't be up there as one of the top. But I don't know if I go as far as to say it's the worst. But again, I mean, one day I hope to get to as many A-League stadiums as possible. I've only been to the New South Wales ones and Canberra. Shadow says Brisbane because they have to play at Redcliffe, or they play at Suncorp, which the field there isn't the best and it's way too big for them. Yeah, a lot of Brisbane fans aren't happy about Raw playing out at Redcliffe. Alex with a good question here. Early grand final team predictions. Great question. Look, it's at the moment it's easy, and as much as I'd love to say my Mariners, are going to be in the grand final, Adelaide United and Melbourne City are unstoppable, and are quite easily at the moment the two best sides in the competition. You got to say Adelaide and City. I mean, let me know in the chat what's your guys' grand final predictions, grand final team predictions. It's got to be City and Adelaide. Having said that, look, Mariners and Wanderers are the two teams who will be chasing and will probably be the other semi-final teams. And either of those teams could see themselves in a grand final. But the two best teams in the competition right now are City and Adelaide, so it's quite easy to say that they, at the moment, should be the two teams playing in the grand final, which would be a pretty epic grand final and would be a pretty interesting one considering there'd be no New South Wales teams playing in a Sydney grand final. Very curious to see how that pans out. Alex XG. We've got Alex in Adelaide and Alex XG. Alex XG for his grand final teams is picking Adelaide and Western Sydney. That would be interesting. I'd be curious to see how that goes. Yeah, I'd be curious to see that and Adelaide and Wanderers grand final. That would be spicy, wouldn't it? That would be very spicy. Victory Raw. Dude, can you imagine? It's mathematically possible. Cody, if Victory Raw are in the grand final come the end of the season, I don't know, what's a challenge? What's a thing? What's something that I can do? Because it obviously it won't happen. It can't happen. But it could mathematically happen, right? I'm pretty sure both those sides could finish in the top 6 still. Both. Yeah. Jordan says Mariners, Adelaide, or Western Sydney Wanderers. I could see City choking in the semis. I don't know. Potentially. City have been struggling for form of late. They haven't looked super convincing. So, yeah, potentially. We'd love to see Mariners in the final, of course. Troy says Adelaide versus City or City versus Wanderers. But I hope to see Mariners get further than last time as we have the squad for it. Indeed. And look, the thing for me with Mariners have been in the finals last 2 times in a row. Elimination finals, knocked out both times. I think a successful season for me for the Mariners would be to see the Mariners make it to the semis. I want to see the Mariners make it to the semis. If we can get that, I'm happy, man. 123 also saying, so it's our bold prediction, City will underperform in the finals. Okay, so we're getting a couple predictions for City to underperform. Shadow also picks West Sydney Wanderers and Adelaide for the final matches. Rematch of the 2015 grand final, I think it was. Was it 2015? I think it might have been 2016. South Australia, Adelaide Oval. Adelaide Wanderers. Isaias, si senor. Iconic Simon Hill commentary. I think that was 2016. I think 2015 was the oh gosh, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure 2015 was the Victory Sydney Grand Final where Barisha scored and Lee Broxham scored at the end. I think that was the 2015 Grand Final. 2016. I always like to test myself for that Grand Final knowledge. I remember 2014 was Brisbane Wanderers. 2013 was, of course, Mariners Wanderers. So I think 2016 was Wanderers Adelaide. Will you come to Coopers if it's Adelaide versus Central Coast Mariners in the playoffs? Would love to get down there, man. I've never been there. Never been there. Never been there. Could potentially happen. We saw the two teams meet in the finals last year. Elimination finals. Heartbreak for Mariners. We'd love to get down there. We could see the two teams meet in the semis. We could see Mariners win their elimination final to play Adelaide in the semis. That would be a really epic 2-leg semi playoff match. Set of matches. That would be epic. Shadow, there we go. 2015 was Victory Sydney. Yeah, we got it. 3-0. You're right. And then 2016 was the Sydney penalty shootout win. Maybe it was the 2014 Grand Final. Oh, well, maybe it was 2017. Maybe the Adelaide Wanderers Grand Final was 2017. 2014. I feel like 2014 because I remember 2014 Brisbane bounced back after Mariners won the Grand Final. Remember Brisbane bounced back and Wanderers were in it again. So I'm pretty confident that 2014 was Brisbane Wanderers. Yeah. Sporty O'Brien in the chat says, I'm a Wanderers fan. I think that we are playing really well. Wanderers are playing some great football at the moment. Despite the loss to Adelaide on the weekend, Wanderers still sitting in 4th position on the ladder, level on points. Look at that. Can we just take a moment to appreciate 3rd and 4th? Mariners, 34 points, 12 goal difference. Wanderers, 34 points, 12 goal difference. There you go. Interesting one, isn't it? Really interesting one. Look at the goals against. I mean, you see, if you compare Wanderers compared to their top 6 rivals, I mean, you can see how Wanderers 21 goals, 32 Mariners, 36 Adelaide, 35 for Wellington, and 37 for Sydney. Wanderers, pretty decent margin, have the best defense in the league, thanks to the likes of Lawrence Thomas, Marcelo, and Michela. City, second best defense in the league, isn't it? It is interesting, though, when you scroll down to these bottom teams. Look at that. I mean, they've only conceded 29 goals, Brisbane and Victory. There's always really interesting things that you can discover when you scroll through the ladder a little bit. Yeah. What else are we saying here? Shadow says, no, 2016 was Adelaide Wanderers. Looked it up. So I did get it right. Sweet. I got it right. Cody in the chat says, MacArthur's squad has got progressively worse. I assume you mean every year. Do you agree? First year squad was elite, especially with Benyat, Susayata. That first year squad was good. Derbyshire did all right in that inaugural season for the Bulls. Who else was there? They had James Meredith, Alexander Shushnia, Jovanovic, Ivan Franjic at right back. They had Adam Federici. This feels like a long time ago, but it was only a few years ago. Was that their best squad? Probably. Yeah, Cody, I probably have to agree with you there. They've got some good players still, MacArthur. They've got Ulysses De Vere, who's a fantastic player still, obviously injured at the moment. Daniel Arzani, a good player, hasn't maybe had the best season. But I do agree. MacArthur's squad has gotten worse. Just not by massive margins, but yeah, it has. Lawrence Thomas and Marcelo, that's right. The brick wall at the back. John P says, will you do a review to your ladder prediction video from the start of the year? Yes. I actually really enjoyed doing that. I did one last year, and it's a genuinely really fun video for me to do, because I'll try and do it so I can watch the actual video and watch what I was saying, what crazy predictions. Dude, I can't even remember my ladder prediction. I can't even remember my ladder prediction from the start of the season. We don't have long till half time, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can pull it up now. Actually, or can someone pull it up now? It's on the YouTube channel. Can someone pull up my ladder prediction? It's on the channel. If not, I'll do it here as well, and I'll see if I can find it because I'm genuinely. Let's see what I can't remember for the life of me. I remember predicting victory to finish finals. I think a lot of people did. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. I'll see if I can find it. But if anyone can find it first, yeah. Oh, this is an interesting one. You should do a tier list of all the all access episodes. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Teams coming out for the second half here. Not long to go until we get underway in the second half. Of course, a slight delay on the stream, but should be set for a spicy second half here. Victory really need to come back, and they're playing for a spot just outside the top 6 here. Victory about to get underway here. Romero to kick us off. Finally, we have a kickoff. Second half is underway. City 1, Victory 0. And looks like we've got no substitutions just yet. No substitutions. City were probably the better of the two sides in that first half. Victory did have one strike through Bruno Fornaroli, which was well saved by Tommy Glover. As it stands now, as we can see, City still on top. Win here would be big for them. Would just to give them that little buffer, to give them that gap on the top of the ladder. They would absolutely love it, Melbourne City. 46 minutes into this contest on my stream here. One of the most bizarre derbies we've seen in our league history. They're just showing a replay on the broadcast now. They're showing a replay of Aiden O'Neill's goal, which was scored so long ago now, it feels like. Cody, yeah, good point. So about MacArthur having the longest game of the season, does that count? Indeed. That's right. Facecam is back. Facecam is back. Having some slight technical difficulties with here with the camera. Favorite episode? Shadow says favorite episode of All Access. Favorite All Access episode is the Charlie Austin episode. Just defend. It was good, wasn't it? That was good. That was like the second one in the season, was it? The second or third one. That's good. Chancey for City down the left hand side. Cross isn't ideal, but it's going to fall here for Talbot, or is it a boot? Corner. Roderick Miranda is not happy. Trying to hype his team up. Andrew in a boot with a chance to get the first goal of tonight's match. That was a good block. That was a good block by Miranda. Put his body on the line for his team. And here we go. Valen Berisha to deliver here. Out swinging corner. 47 minutes and 40 seconds played. Headed away. Cleared. Next goal's crucial here. It's a cliche, but it is true. If City get the next goal here, I think it's going to be too far for Victory to catch. 2-goal lead should be too much. City should be able to hold on to that. Whereas a goal for Victory, and Victory have been playing well in their last couple games. Goal here for Victory, and all of a sudden they'll have the momentum. They've got a real. There's a real sense of urgency now for Victory. They need to be winning games, picking up points if they want to be playing finals, which a club the size of Victory should be doing so. Victory with a chance, chipping the ball back post. Oh, what an opportunity. Crucial clearance. I think it was Berisha getting back. Here's an interesting one we're seeing in the chat here. Person 1201 in the chat says, unpopular opinion, but Danny Townsend is underrated as he doesn't get enough praise for keeping the league alive during COVID, where it looked really bleak. Yeah, I agree. I agree that he did do a good job there. We agree with that. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying he's underrated, but look, yeah, we have to give him credit for that, for sure. For sure. $50 have ticked by on my stream. 50 minutes. Exactly. Victory. Winning the ball high up the park. This is a great chance for victory. Far post. Terrible ball. Chris Economides wanted that tap in. Taken on his defender. Has he taken it out of play? He has. Chris Economides, a player who had so much excitement around him like 5 or so years ago. Decent season at Perth Glory under Popovich. Was pretty good for them last year, but probably didn't start as many games as he would have hoped. He's an interesting player to watch at the moment, Chris Economides, because you can tell he's skillful. You can tell he's got it, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't quite work out for him at the moment. Chris Economides. Yeah, he's a good player. He is a good player. City shifting the ball nicely down the left. But being patient here. Mike Otilio, the Socceroo, bringing the ball forward. Nice little run. Laying it off for Berisha. Space out on the left now. Nice move by City. Berisha chipping it over. Was not the right move. That's gone way out of play. Will we see a goal tonight? I say tonight. Not in this fixture, but tonight. Both defenses standing up relatively well so far. It's going to be interesting to see when substitutions are made too. You know, we're used to seeing substitutions around the hour mark, but it's a different situation this time around. These players have only played about half an hour of football so far. Probably not too exhausted. So, well, we might not see some substitutions till late. We'll see. We'll see. Troy asks an interesting question. Who do you think is Victory's worst player or most overrated player? Who's Victory's most overrated player? I mean, we're just talking about Chris Economides. And look, I'll say he's got so much talent and he's got potential to be, you know, on his day, he could be one of the best players in the league. Seriously. But probably him. I mean, unfortunately, he hasn't quite had the best season this season, Chris Economides. So, yeah, I mean, overrated, maybe him. It's hard to say. I mean, collectively, overall, this team has really underperformed Melbourne Victory, you know? So, it's there's probably a few players who aren't playing their best at the moment in Melbourne Victory. Melbourne Victory trying to look to get down the right-hand side. Here's Chris Economides. What can you do, Chris? What can you do? Not much. Goal, throw in. Spencer, great question. Great question from Spencer right now. It's on the screen. Has Economides lost his chance to be a mainstay in the Socceroos? Or do you think he will rejoin later on like Borello? Borello is a good comparison. Yeah. If he turns it around, Graham Arnold keeps it close on the A Leagues, of course. Graham Arnold is has already shown his faith in the A Leagues, and it's worked out so far. If Chris Economides was to turn it on, if stick around for next season and really have a fantastic campaign, then yeah, of course. I mean, he has to be in the window for Socceroos. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying that he could be like a mainstay, but yeah, like a Borrello sort of situation. We've seen Borrello come back to Australia and just have a superb season at Western Sydney Wanderers. He's such a great player, Brandon Borrello. Plays with such passion. That's the thing for me about Brandon Borrello. You can tell that he plays with passion. He really cares about his club. So you're moving forward through Berenguer. Barisha brings it wide for Talbot. My Paramount Plus stream now at 55 minutes. Exactly, 55 minutes. And that means City are on the right wing. Victory so far have defended well, as they did in the most recent derby between these teams, where Victory, of course, went on to win the game 3-2. Hey, good question, Spencer. That's actually not a bad idea. Do an early 2026 Socceroos World Cup squad prediction video. Spencer, I'm going to write that down. I'm putting that down right now. That's a good idea. Genuinely good idea. And then Spencer also says, then come back in 26 and see how accurate you are. That would be good. It'd be like, like I sort of said before, reacting to my A-League ladder predictions. That would be like the ultimate reaction, because, be reacting to something I said, 3 years prior, right? Fortnite says, do you think it's true that Viking paid only 100K for D'Agostino? Says in the transfer market, but that fee seems super high. Yeah. No, that sounds fair, I think. If it says it, then yeah, maybe it must be true. Tilio, good run. Nice play. City. Oh, just breaking down there for City. Tilio almost breaking through. Oh, some really nice passing there. Barisha, Berenguer. Really excited. Both of these guys are doing a decent job tonight. Haven't quite found their attackers just yet, but Berenguer, Barisha, and here we go. City have won the ball high up. There's a great chance here for City in the box. That's a goal. Is it Aidan O'Neill again? It is. Aidan O'Neill finds the back of the net, and City lead 2-0, which means Aidan O'Neill now has 2 goals in this fixture. A brace for O'Neill. And I said it just a moment ago, if City were to score again, make it super difficult for Victory to get anything out of this game. I'm going to stand by that. Terrible giveaway. Oh, and I'll tell you who it was Roderick Miranda. And just after that giveaway, he absolutely axed play on a slide tackle there. I think it was he absolutely axed Barisha. And that's too easy for City. They've gifted them a goal. It's 2-0. Troy says Aidan O'Neill's on fire at the moment. He is indeed. He's finding himself in the score sheet. Finding himself in green and gold. 2 goals officially in this fixture. It's his second ever A-League brace. There you go. According to the broadcast. Aidan O'Neill. Fantastic. City lead 2-0. Mountain to climb for victory. This was their chance to climb up the ladder. Gain some territory in the teams above them. They're letting it slip at the moment. Shadow says he might find himself in League On soon. Maybe hanging out with Patrick Kisnorbo, his former coach. Spencer asks here, Socceroos related question. How do you think the Aussies will do at the Asian Cup? I definitely see us in the top 4 with Japan, South Korea, Saudi. Would like to see us win the whole thing, get revenge on Japan for 2011. I'd love to see Australia get to at least the semi-finals, even a final. This is a fantastic Socceroos squad we have here. We're going to come back to that because there's a little bit of a coming together in the middle of the field. There's a little bit of something going on. Bruno Foniro's down the floor. Looks like he's okay. Free kick for victory. I think semi-finals minimum for Australia next year's Asian Cup. Semi-finals minimum, in my opinion. Should be making the final. That's right. If Kuznova doesn't, doesn't get back before the end of the season, yeah, we're hearing he's Kuznova not having the best times over there, not getting the results that he'd been wanting. So my Paramount Plus stream now at 1 hour. We're now just ticking past the hour mark now on the broadcast clock. Melbourne City lead 2-0 over their crosstown rivals, Melbourne Victory. I say crosstown rivals, but there isn't too much of a geographical separation between these two sides, right? They both share the same city. Shadow asks, do you think Ange will be in the Premier League next season? Seems like Leeds United are going to wait out for him next season if they stay up. It's a real possibility, isn't it? And it's exciting hearing sort of his name linked with potential jobs here and there. I think it's a good chance of happening. Would love to see it too. Would love to see it too. Spencer says, imagine Kisnorbit to Raw since we were looking for a head coach. That would be interesting. I don't see it happening. I think it's a low chance of happening. That could be cool. John says Miranda should have gotten a yellow for that at least. He did? I wasn't even sure if he did either. Troy says, I think we're all proud of the Socceroos journey to making the World Cup again, to making the round of 16. I definitely underestimated how good the Socceroos squad can be. I think we all did. Look, there's some fantastic individual plays in this team at the moment. And Graham Arnold did a fantastic job. It was really exciting seeing the Socceroos team go as far as they did. And yeah, that's why I think for this Asian Cup, we should be heading into it as potentially favourites. I said semi-finals are a minimum. I think we should be, aiming for the final. Spencer says more likely to get Fowler back at Brisbane Roar. Again, one of those ones like I'm not sure if I can see happening. Not sure if I can see that happening, but it'd be interesting. Spencer also says, by the way, Raw has said we should be getting the new coach announcement soon, sometime this month. That would be good to see, for it to happen nice and early, so Raw is coming in for next season. City. Really starting to control this game now, Melbourne City. Showing their class. And they're knocking the ball around nicely. And look, they've got that 2-goal lead. They don't have to do anything crazy now, Melbourne City. So this is going to become really interesting here. This is Victory's opportunity. They have to step up. They have to show us what they're made of. Newey Jets football is in here. How's it going? Newey Jets football. Check it out for all the Newcastle Jets football content, all the Jets fans. I hope you're doing well, Newey Jets. Two 0 to Melbourne City. And Aidan O'Neill brace. Socceroo getting on the score sheet twice in this fixture. If you're enjoying the stream so far, make sure you hit the like button. I really appreciate it when you hit the like button. I do. It helps out a whole lot. And if you are new, we do plenty of A-League content here. The A-League watch-alongs have been coming thick and fast at the moment. And there's a whole bunch planned for the last few rounds. We're doing one this Saturday night. MacArthur taking on West Sydney Wanderers, the Western Sydney Derby. We'll be here for the live watch along Saturday night, 7:30. 7:30 we'll be kicking off the live stream. That is Australian Eastern Standard Time. No daylight savings anymore for those of us in New South Wales, Victoria, and what other states do it. You have a score prediction for the MacArthur game? Good question. At the moment, my prediction, I think Wanderers win. Wanderers are a better side of the MacArthur at the moment. Wanderers should win that one. I'm going to say 3-1 Wanderers. 3-1 Wanderers. I reckon Lockie Rose will get on the score sheet for the Bulls. 3-1 Wanderers. Hey, here's Victory coming forward. There's Chris Economides is in the box with the ball. It's his time to shine here, Chris Economides. He's turned backwards. He's still going backwards. My Paramount Plus stream is now at 65 minutes. 65 minutes. This is Victory want to score real soon if they want to get themselves back into this game. We've barely seen Fernando Romero, who's back from suspension in this game. Chapman. Fornaroli. In fact, it's Romero trying to play it through for Economides. When you compare these two sides and the way they like build up and push forward, it's City are just ahead of them. We're about to see a triple change. 65 minutes into this game, Valupale's coming on. Ryan Marchand's coming on. And there was someone else I didn't get to see it, though. Falami's coming off the field. Leighton Brooks is going to be entering the field, too. So Falami is coming off for Brooks, straight swap there. Chapman off for Ryan Marchand, another straight swap. And potentially Economides for Valupale. We'll see. Nishan Valupale's on the field. Some good young players. Valupale on for Romero. Funny that we were literally just talking about him. How we barely saw him tonight. Seen a little bit of Bruno Fornaroli. He's been getting himself involved, but I can't remember calling out Fernando Romero's name much tonight. And speaking of attacking players at Victory, Shadow says Victory need Marco Rojas back. Well, yeah, it hasn't gone to plan for Victory. Hey, I mean, Nani was sort of that replacement for Rojas. But yeah, they would love Rojas back at the moment. They would. And yes, he indeed go to Chile. He went to Chile to play with Colo Colo in Chile. Marco Rojas. Exciting news for New Jets football. Just seeing this comment just from hi to studio in Sydney. I'm heading there for a holiday, but also recording a podcast with Cassini Yengi. Nice. All the best, New Jets. Economides regathering this ball. Jordy Boss able to clear. Look, young Jordy Boss has got Economides in his pocket right now. Decent throw by Negro to find that's Ryan Marchand pushing forward. But again, just like you look at City and the way they build up, they're very patient. They're very, precise. Victory's attacking build-up play just feels like it lacks direction. It just feels a bit aimless. Maybe that's because they were without Jake Brimmer still. Potentially that's why. I love the microphone. Thank you. I don't often get compliments about gear, but does the job. Does the job. Who does Mitch Duke play for now? I can't recall the name of the club off the top of my head, but I know he plays in Japan. So Matt Ryan now plays in the Eredivisie. Yeah, that's right. New Jess says, thanks, man. On the note, I have to say I'm very impressed with the Mariners this year. Seems like the crowds are improving each week too. Yeah, crowds have been getting steadily better for the Mariners. It's been a good season for the Central Coast. Here's Aiden O'Neill, edge of the box for City. Barisha, back to O'Neill. See, look at this from City. It's very smart build-up play. Taking their time. Dude, look at the seagulls. I swear right now there's currently 200 seagulls at the top of the broadcast. My broadcast is about to hit 69 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, there's like 2,000 seagulls at the top of your picture right now, just in like the far corner of the pitch. We of course know there's plenty of seagulls at Amy Park, but goodness me, there's a lot of them right now. Look at that, dude! They're all like flying everywhere. Rename it to Seagull Stadium. I'm telling you, man. Seagull Stadium. This is crazy. Will you be attending the A-League finals considering Mariners will probably qualify? Yep. Would love to get along to some finals games. Mariners should be making finals. Spencer says, hey, look, if you had to pick up 3 players to join you in a MATC, who would they be? Has to be anyone who plays for an A-League club. Do you mean match? Join you in a match? And what do you mean by match when you say match? As in like to play a game with me? If so, that is a fascinating question. Do you think Socceroos will eventually have multiple starters in the top 5 leagues? Yes. Yes, I think we'll see it in the next 5 years or so. Yes, there's some very good, exciting young players coming through. Garang Kual, Nestor Irankunda, Jordy Boss, all these guys could be playing in the top 5 leagues in a few years' time. Troy says, more seagulls than people in the stadium. It looks like it, doesn't it? Hey, Bruce Kamal's about to come into the pitch as well. Another change for Melbourne Victory. They're really going all out here, aren't they? Probably coming off for Connor Meades, who's been has been too dangerous this game. 70 minutes, almost 71 minutes now I've ticked by. 71 minutes on my broadcast. Hey, Ryan Machan's just won the ball in a good position. There's a chance for Victory to push forward here. Leighton Brooks trying to get himself involved. Curtis Good deals with it. Connor Meades. Oh, that's well done by Connor Meades, who gets the cross in. Fornaroli going for the acrobatic effort, and it was blocked. Bruno Fornaroli. He's had a good season so far in a Victory shirt. He's grabbed a handful of goals. Victory look like they've won a free kick out wide, though. What a chance for Bruno Fornaroli. Match. So, yeah, Spencer says, isn't it a really interesting question, though? 5 players to join me in a match. I guess I just picked like the best 5 players in the league, right? Craig Goodwin, Brian Kaltak in defense. What else are we saying here? 5 A-League legends to play on my team. Okay. So basically a 5-a-side team. Okay, in goals, let's go Danny Vukovic. Centre back, Brian Kaltak. Craig Goodwin in midfield. Another midfield player, Ulysses Devere. And then up top, Jason Cummings. There you go. 3 Mariners, but yeah. Tony Popovich, Folder. There's your answer, Gus. Chris Economides has come off the field to replace Bruce Kamal. Did I say to replace Bruce Kamal? I meant the other way around. Bruce Kamal's come onto the pitch to replace Chris Economides. Bruce Kamal playing on the right wing now to add a bit of flair, bit of firepower. "73 minutes have ticked by in the broadcast, sitting inside the box. Naboot's cross was a bizarre one. That's found no one. Very poor cross from Andrew Naboot, who has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders with the absence of Socceroo Matthew Leckie, who City will be hoping should be back alongside Van der Ven by the time finals comes around in a few weeks' time. Despite the scoreline, despite the 2-0 scoreline in favour of Melbourne City, there is still plenty of time for Victory to get back into this game. It needs to happen real soon. They haven't looked super convincing so far. But here's Bruce Kamal. Wayward pass. Just some of the execution from Victory has been lacking tonight. That's what's been letting them down. Interestingly enough, on the broadcast, they've got the XG on the screen now. 0.41 for City, 1.22 for Victory. So much higher XG for Victory. And in fact, shots at goal, 5 for City, 7 for Victory. There you go. There you go. Which I guess doesn't, I guess isn't too surprising. I mean, when Victory get forward, they try to play quickly. They try to play fast. They try to get the shot away. Whereas City will knock it around for 20 minutes before having a strike. Free kick here for, oh God, Andrew Naboot leapt upon Ryan Marchand like he was like it was an AFL match there. Look, he was going for a specky. Andrew Naboot. Knee to the head of Ryan Marchand, who already had a head injury early this season, if I'm not mistaken, against Adelaide. Here's Spencer's A-League Legends 5-a-side. Drop your A-League Legends 5-a-side in the chat. Let's make this a little thing. Spencer's 5-a-side is Michael Theo, former Victory and Brisbane goalkeeper. Defender Mike Milligan, midfield Del Piero and Goodwin. Bessart, Barisha up front. That is a terrifyingly good 5-a-side team. Fantastic. We've got Gus Higgins in the chat who's saying that NPL Tasmania is the most entertaining league in the world, by the way. There we go. Check it out. NPL Tasmania. Can't say I've watched too much of NPL Tasmania. Of course, we saw Wellington Phoenix. Wellington Phoenix took on our Devonport Strikers in the Australia Cup last year, Tasmanian side. Look at the chat says, I hope Ben Falami can kick up a gear next season. Proper talent when playing well. Indeed. We shouldn't forget that a year ago, Ben Falami was a Socceroo. He did have a very good season last time around. This year, along with his teammates, hasn't performed well. But I agree with you, Luke. Play with great potential. Fantastic ability. Melbourne Victory have won a free kick in a really interesting position here as my broadcast ticks past 76 minutes and 30 seconds. And this is Bruno Fornaroli territory. He's already bagged a free kick for Melbourne Victory this season. Can he do it again here? They need it. This is a big game in the context of the season for Victory. Fornaroli to step up. That's a tame effort, really tame effort. He went low, got past the wall, but that's an easy save for Tom Glover. And according to the broadcast, the first save of the second half. But that was a routine save for Tom Glover. Wasn't troubled by that at all. Hey, we've got some more 5-a-sides in here. We've got Troy dropping his 5-a-side. Looks like it's very much a Mariners themed side. Matt Ryan, Patrick Swansvik, Mustafa Amini, Louis Garcia, and Matt Simon. All Mariners. Love to see it. Yellow and navy all around. Spencer in the chat says, I feel like Falami should move to a different club. Melbourne seems keen on Nani and Economides. That could be interesting. That could be worth exploring. Would you guys take Falami at your club? Let me know in the chat. I would take Ben Falami at Mariners. Don't know if he'd get a start playing behind, you've got likes of Encololo and Silvera to compete with on the wings. But that's a fair point. I mean, Falami might benefit from a move away. Fresh change. Alex in Adelaide with an interesting question. Thanks, Alex. On a scale from 1 to 10, the captain's performances, on this match. 1 is poor, 10 is outstanding. I assume you mean, so you want me to rate the captains, the actual captains, the performance of the 2 captains on the field tonight, who I believe is Josh Berlante and Jamie McLaren. Jamie McLaren has been basically non-existent, so let's go for a 3 out of 10. Hasn't necessarily done much wrong, but hasn't been there at all. And then Josh Brolante has been involved in that midfield battle a little bit, but you'd probably say that City is winning that midfield battle. So let's go like maybe a 5 out of 10 for Josh Brolante. I assume that's what you mean by rating captains. Interesting question, though. Hey, John P7 in the chat says O'Neill is quality. Great defensive work rate. Great in attack. Great passing. I agree with all those statements. I do think he will stay in the A League or move overseas. He's making a real move, a real statement late on in the season to earn himself a move to Europe. So I think there's a great chance that'll happen. There's all the talks about Nestorio and Kunda and Geordie Boss, but yeah, O'Neill's absolutely got a chance to move overseas. I think he will. Spencer says O'Neill to the Prem, make it happen. We shouldn't forget, of course, O'Neill has played in the Premier League before for Burnley, right? Which is such a funny thing to think about, that O'Neill has already played in the Premier League many years ago now. Sorry, was it Burnley? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was Burnley. I thought it might have been Aston Villa for a second, but I'm pretty sure it was Burnley. Looks like we've got another five-a-side here. Luke, is this your five-a-side? Luke ZB in the chat with his five-a-side. We've got it on the broadcast on the screen right now. Lawrence Thomas at victory. Petratos. I assume you're picking Dimitri Petratos out of the 3 Petratos brothers. Roy Krishna, best up Rish. I love it. Some good players. Blake, how's it going? Blake asks, how long until Aaron Kunda makes the Socceroos squad? Should happen next window. Unfortunate that it didn't happen this time around. Surely will happen next time around, as long as he keeps performing well. Pumpkins in the chat, just tuned into Lockie Mount Plus. That's great. Please give a short recap on the action so far. It's been a relatively even game so far. City have been controlling much of the play and have looked good in attack. Victory have had their chances here and there. Fornaroli with a couple strikes on goal. But yeah, the City just look too strong defensively at the moment. So yeah, 2-0 to City. 2-0 to City. No worries, Alex. Indeed, the captains haven't done too much this game. Haven't seen much of McLaren at all. Luke's also including Bobo in his lineup. There you go, the double striker. 3 strikers, if you like, with Roy Krishna there. On the broadcast, the run home for Melbourne victory. They have Glory at home. Wanderers away. Tough game. MacArthur at home, then Brisbane at home. Melbourne victory should be winning 3 out of those 4 games. That's a pretty easy run home for victory. They won't beat Wanderers away, but victory's run home, they should be beating, and there's 3 home games. They should be winning against Glory, MacArthur, and Brisbane at home. That's 9 points. Victory should be earning 9 points after tonight. Spencer says Victory will lose to Brisbane. It could be a game to decide who makes the top 6. But Brisbane generally struggle at Amy Park. We do know that. Hey, Spencer also asks, would you pick Alex Robinson or O'Neill in the Socceroos starting lineup when Moore retires? Interesting question. Both 2 different players. O'Neill was more of that sort of like number 6, happy to chill and sit back, where I know Robertson's more of a number 8, box-to-box sort of midfielder. Chance for City. Cut back. Oh my goodness, what a chance. Was that McLaren? Was that his first touch of the game, Jamie McLaren, in the 83rd minute? 83 minutes have ticked by. Callum Talbot, great chance. Great cut back to McLaren. And it's going to be a corner. Just to answer your question quickly there, Spencer, before City take this corner, probably O'Neill. Just has a bit more experience. I think O'Neill will be the sort of that defensive midfielder. We haven't really had a proper defensive midfielder since Mila Jedinak. Yeah, probably O'Neill. Cross for City. It's going to fall here for Tilio. Still on for City. Headed away by Miranda. It's bouncing around. Victory just getting it clear now, and that should be a foul. Fornaroli. He's playing with such passion for Victory against his former side. Fornaroli was such a fantastic player for Melbourne City a number of years ago now. Now playing on the opposite side. Victory have been frustrated in this game. Know how crucial it would have been to get a win here tonight. Not long to go now. We're in the 85th minute. 85th minute. Free kick to Victory. Spencer asks, do you think it's over for Sainsbury and Rogic's international careers? What do you guys think of the chat? I'm curious to see what the community thinks. My answers are yes. Unfortunately, yes. We're going to come back to that because Victory, I almost went in with a chance here. Cut back from Brooks. Didn't find a teammate. Kidete, in fact, it was. I think it's over for them, which is a shame to say because both are fantastic players in their own right. But the fresh generation coming through is just too good at the moment. I mean, when you look at the central defenders, Harry Sutak, Kai Rolls have well and truly taken over Sainsbury. Tom Rogic. I mean, who would you rather see picked in the next squad? Alex Robertson or Tom Rogic? And Tom Rogic is, how old's Tom Rogic now? 29, 30 maybe? Alex Robinson is an exciting player. Run home for City on the broadcast. They've got Wellington at home, then Mariners away. Western at Amy Park, and then Wanderers away. That is a tough run home. City have a very tough run home. Meanwhile, City are about to score a third here. That's a great block, though, by De Silva. 5 minutes to go until injury time here. City have a very tricky run home. Wellington, Mariners, Western, and what was the last one? Wanderers. I mean, you'd think they'd beat Western at Amy Park. But I don't know about those other ones, man. I don't know. Wellington at home, they probably should win, but Wellington are a good side. Mariners away will be interesting for City. And then they've got Wanderers at home, I believe. Wanderers at home. Big games, man. Huge games coming up. Hey, I've got Adrian in the chat. How's it going, Adrian? I'm doing well, man. Thanks for checking in. Hope all is well with you as well. A Pumpkin saying Rogic has a slim chance of making Socceroos squad again. Sainsbury has absolutely no chance. I probably agree with that. Like if anyone was to get a look in, probably Rogic ahead of Sainsbury. Free kick here. Brillante to deliver long range. And he goes wayward. This has been the sums up the night for Melbourne. Victory. They're getting the field in decent positions, but they're not really creating the clear-cut opportunities. It's not working out for them. Meanwhile, Scott Jamieson is about to enter the field, who, of course, for those that don't know, there's plenty of drama around Scott Jamieson and his involvement in this game tonight. Of course, he received a red card just a few days ago against Newcastle Jets. Involved in this game because he doesn't serve his suspension tonight because this game is technically from back in round 8. He's serving his suspension this weekend against Wellington. Thomas or Glover for Roos call up? Thomas easy for me. I think Lawrence Thomas is a considerably better goalkeeper than Tommy Glover. Tommy Glover's okay. Tommy Glover's a good goalkeeper, but Lawrence Thomas is having a fantastic season, and he's ahead for me for sure. The next goalkeeper to be called up, like the fourth choice goalkeeper for his, it's a goal. Here's me talking gibberish. Nishan Volupale's just tapped it home. Victory score on the counter-attack. It's 2-1. Game on. With moments to go in the game, it's 2-1. Nishan Volupale out of nowhere. Nishan Volupale scores. Great move. Is it offside? It isn't. Talbot's playing Kamau on. The substitutes combine. Bruce Kamau teeing up. That's a fantastic cross. Well done, Bruce Kamau, who's come into this field to replace Economides and has teed it up for his teammate Volupale to tap it home. Nishan Velupillay, easy goal for him. This is going to make for a tense final moments in the clash. Victory 1 goal behind. Would love a point here. What a crucial point it could be. Adrian saying, come on, Victory. Come on, Victory. Not long to go. How much injury time will we see? We haven't had too many stoppages, not many injuries for what I can remember. I'd probably say 3 minutes of injury time. I don't know if we'd get any more than that. We've had a couple of goals now, maybe 4. Maybe 4 minutes of injury time. Mate. Tony Popovich urging his side on from the sidelines. We're about to tick over 90 minutes. City in defense mode. Long ball from De Silva's cut out. All of a sudden, this game, the intensity has risen. Brillante with a good switch to Kamal. That's who you want on the ball. He set up the goal for Nishan Velupillay. It's going to be a throw-in for Victory. Still on. Marchand. This is good. Oh, great little move. That's Velupillay. Beautiful. Oh, still going. Oh, my God. Velupillay. What a run. Strike. Oh. Leighton Brooks blazes over the crossbar. Victory almost with the equaliser. 4 minutes of injury time we've got. Crazy scenes at Amy Park. HITC, Sir Carnage. Will Natty leave Victory? Probably, unfortunately. My prediction that I don't think he will continue next year, but we'd love to see it happen. I mean, we'd love to see him stick around, but I can't see it happening. The reason why I think that is because he's not in Australia at the moment. From what we see, he's been overseas. Doesn't really have anything to do with Victory at the moment while he's injured, which is a shame. Venom asks, will Ange Postecoglou or Kevin Muscat be a manager in the Premier League? I will probably see Postecoglou there first. Yeah, Postecoglou's he's heading that way, isn't he? Great ending to the game, indeed. Indeed, Trey. Few minutes remaining. City 2, Victory 1. Overall, it's been a decent game. It's been a decent contest. John P7 in the chat saying Velupillay should be probably be starting ahead of Economies, in my opinion. I agree. Dude, even Bruce Kamau. Throw Bruce Kamau in there. He's had a good impact in the limited minutes he's gotten on the pitch tonight. But yeah, I think we've seen tonight Economies just isn't that outlet that Victory need right now. Talbot's won the ball high up the field. City able to push forward here. 92 minutes have ticked by for me. Still going forward here. Tilio. Goal here for City would seal the 3 points. Jordy Boss, Jamison, City taking the time with the ball. Victory. Man, they would love a point from this game. It could be a crucial point in the context of their season. For Melbourne City, a win would be huge. Would just about put one hand on the Premier's plate. Talbot, he's had a great game tonight. Callum Talbot from right back is pushed forward well. City have only made the one substitution tonight in Scott Jamison coming onto the field. They're going to make their second one here. Scott Galloway is going to enter the field to replace Marco Tilio. Adrian, thanks, man, says, I like the new background setup. Thanks, man. We've got the Socceroos, got the Mariners gear down the bottom. Substitution in the final moments of the game. We are about to see the full-time whistle blown unless Victory can pull something out of the fire here. At full-time, we'll have a look at the ladder and how things stand following this result. It is a big one for Melbourne City. A result that could see them win the Premier's Plate. Seconds left. Seconds remaining. Here we go. Decent run into the box. Talbot, well done in defense. He's conceded a corner. It's a corner. It's a corner, man. 94 minutes have been played. That's it. This should be the final. This should be the final sequence in the game. This should be it. Kim out to deliver. Decent ball. Glover claims. Glover claims, and that might be it. Melbourne City look like they're going to retain the lead in this fixture that they had months ago. Looks like they will go on to win this game 2-1. Tom Glover yeets the ball down the field, and the full-time whistle rings out. It is 2-1. City winning over Melbourne Victory. What do you guys make of that result? Wow. Pretty intense finish to that game. Very intense finish to that game at the end there. And let's have a look at how that stands now on the ladder. Melbourne City, 45 points. 5 points clear of Adelaide. But as we were talking about just a few moments ago, that run in for Melbourne City is looking pretty spicy. Tricky one for them. Melbourne Victory, another loss. 12th loss of the season for Melbourne Victory. The most out of any team in the competition. 24 points. Look, still within touch of finals. Melbourne Victory. But they need to start winning matches soon. Oh, man, what do you guys make of it? Are Melbourne City going to run away with it now? Are Melbourne City going to run away with it the way they're looking? That 5 points might be too much for Adelaide to catch. I mean, yes, the Reds are absolutely hot on form at the moment. They've been playing really well. Troy in the chat, thanks so much for tuning in, man. Says, that was fun. Thanks for the watch long. Hope we see you again soon. Absolutely. And speaking of seeing me again soon, we are going to be live this Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. for the Battle of the West. Let's pull it up right now. Let's have a look at the fixtures coming up this weekend. We're going to be live Saturday night right there. MacArthur Wanderers, Saturday night. Prime time game. See you guys there for it. That's the next live watch along. Coming up this round, Easter weekend, we've got Western hosting Mariners, Lead hosting City, Brisbane Roar. They'll be taking on Newcastle Jets. Big game, that one. Both teams need to win. MacArthur need 3 points to keep their finals hopes alive, taking on tough opposition, West Sydney Wanderers. And we've got Melbourne Victory taking on Perth Glory. Big game, that one again. Both these teams need to win if they want to get themselves closer to the top 6. And then a top 6 clash involving Melbourne City and Wellington Phoenix. Man, another spicy round of A-League football. Plenty going on as we enter the final rounds of the season. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys on Saturday night for this one. MacArthur, Western Sydney Wanderers, huge game there. We've experienced a pretty entertaining game overall. Melbourne City 2, Melbourne Victory 1. I'll catch you Saturday night for the next live watch along. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Adrian, appreciate it, my man, says, thanks for the stream, bro. Catch you guys on Saturday night. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you on the weekend. Cheers.